G'day Spurs fans, Paul Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet, taking care of business in a flash, like the king, fighting against fading light. Been a long old day at work and hopefully I can eke out another 5 minutes. But we've got Villa tomorrow morning. It's about 4:30 or 4:45 kickoff tomorrow morning. I'm excited. I'll be doing a watch along if I wake up. I usually do, don't worry about it. Fourth round of the FA Cup. What a run by Spurs so far. And what have we got to look forward to? A bunch of dirty bastards. Just a bunch of claret and blue shitheads trying to take our players out. Villa have always been like that ever since day dot, and they will be like that tomorrow morning. So we've got to fight fire with fire, but be the better man. Don't get too carried away. It'd be interesting to see, well, if you're a neutral, what the new Villa team looks like. They lost a couple of important players during the window, got a few muppets in. I'm not scared. I fancy this game. I think we're going to win 3-0. But what will the Spurs lineup look like? Well, I had a look at SofaScore, which is a site that I usually look at the numbers and scratch my head a bit and go, oh yeah, whatever. Whereas I know some of you nerds out there going, oh, look at the stats on that. Doesn't mean anything to me. But I did think that their starting lineup for Tottenham was quite interesting. So we've got what's his name? We've got Kinski in goal. I better not point just in case I can't line it up, but here it is. I've got Kinski in goal. And they've got a back four here of Spence, Davis, Danso and Porro. I think that's fair enough. I think that's a fair enough bet. Now the midfield is where the SofaScore thing is interesting, because I wouldn't mind seeing this myself as well. We've got Berryvale, we've got Kulusevski, and we've got Gray. And I'd love to see Gray. They've got him in the centre of midfield. I'd love to see that. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think it'd be great, because he's done so well out of position in centre back. It'd be nice to see him in a more of a role he's used to. See if he can do the business. I'm sure he can. And then up front we've got Tell in the middle. We've got Mikey Moore starting as well in this SofaScore lineup as well. Mikey Moore with Son, our captain, of course, on the other wing. So I think this is a fair enough lineup. I think it whets the appetite a bit. I think it's good enough to win. I saw Ange's press conferences. And he seems pretty stoic about the whole thing. I get where he's coming from. This is what something like I said in my video today, like with no extra players coming back, how can we really expect anything to change that much? But I think the additions of Danso and Tell in the lineup could do something, and also with Moore playing more of a role, he doesn't have fear. Our young players, that's what they're showing this year, they don't have fear. And I think some of our senior players, they have been given a bit of flack, and I've given them a little bit of flack here and there. But especially as far as Kulu and Son, well, as far as Son's concerned, I think he's a bit knackered. But we saw a couple of games ago that he's still got it. I thought he did pretty well against Liverpool as well. Kulu has been playing so hard. Maybe he's a bit buggered at the moment, but that's probably what we're going to end up playing with. But like I say, I think we've got to be a bit wary of Aston Villa's dirty, filthy tactics, and hope that they don't add to our injury list, because we've got enough already. I mean, surely Ange and Emery can get together, shake hands, smoke a peace pipe, share an olive branch or something like that, to say, look, come on, mate. It's only the FA Cup. You're in the Champions League. You know, at least play fair. So I don't think they will. Now, I think the other thing going in our advantage tonight also, hello doggy, is that Unai Emery, I think, is a bit scared of old Ange Postecoglou. Excuse me, he tends to adapt and change his team around far too much. Oh, the sun's shining on me. Far too much. Whereas we, when we're at our best, play our football regardless of the opposition, and I think that's the best way to do it. you might have to solve a few personnel or passing problems depending on the who you're playing, but generally you want to play the same style of football, whereas Emery is a man of no principle. He's a charlatan, a fraud, a hack, couldn't stay the course at Arsenal. He's had a bit of luck at Villa, but he adapts too much, and I don't think that instills confidence in his team, because when you start compromising on the way you play football, then what have you got to fall back on? What have you got to fall back on? Now, what I don't want to see from Spurs is us standing off. Turned out that the game against Liverpool, playing pragmatic, which, I mean, looking at some of the highlights of some of the watch-alongs was quite hilarious of the Liverpool game, because when it looked like we were hanging back, people were slagging it off, you know, as if, you know, Ange set them up that way, which is crazy. When a lot of people have been asking him to be that pragmatic word, i.e. weak all season. But it turns out the players kind of did that for us against Liverpool. And look, these things happen. They've got to learn to trust that our football works, and that if we go at them, one thing I want to see is I want to see the press back. The press was really missing against Liverpool, and I just want to see us up them. And you know, come what may, I think we'll win the game. But we saw against Liverpool that if you hang back, that doesn't win you games. It doesn't win you games. It doesn't even let you hang on to a draw. So I want to see us up and at them, and I'll take whatever result comes from that. And I think when we do that well, the times we've played well under Ange's tutelage are the times where we've stuck to our guns and we've played attacking football and we've pressed hard. And something interesting that Ange said in the conference, according to the figures, according to the stats, is that by hanging back, it actually meant that we ran more than Liverpool. It sounds counterintuitive, but it makes absolute sense. If we try and squash the play in the opposition half, we're running less. Whereas if we're letting them come at us, we're doing a lot more running around. You know, we're running, you know, running up and down 3/4 of the pitch, half the pitch. Whereas if we get up there and stay up there, we don't have to get so knackered. So there's an interesting lesson there. And it looks like the Spurs stats boffins are onto it, and maybe that will make the penny drop with the players, that by playing aggressive you can actually conserve energy, squashing the play out, putting them under pressure. Now, of course, now and then the other team are going to escape, aren't they? But we've shown that when we're up there, we can create lots of chances, and it'd be great to see Tell in the middle to see what the guy's made of. I mean, you've probably looked at some of his sizzle reels. I've looked at his sizzle reels, seen his interview. He seems to paint the correct picture of what a striker should be. But I was really impressed the way Dom Solanke started. You could see straight away he had it. It was too little to judge on Tell against Liverpool, although he did have the balls to have a shot. I think he might have hit the crossbar as well. So with that shot. So he wasn't scared to have a go. I mean, that's not a bad shout for a 19-year-old in a debut against one of the world's best teams in a knockout competition, to have the guts to do something like that. And that's what you want from a striker. Jimmy Greaves said that he always missed far more chances than he scored. If you don't try, you're not going to score, are you? So hopefully Tell will show us a bit about it. Whether he scores or not, I'm not too concerned. I'm not really up him for scoring goals immediately. I just want to see if he's got that kind of shape about him. Like Will Lancashire, I think, is a striker. You know, give him a couple of years and I think he'll come very good. I want to see if Teller's got that sense, perhaps a sense that the likes of maybe Richarlison doesn't have in front of goal, but Solanke certainly did. I mean, Kane certainly had it. Son does have it at times, but he's not an out-and-out striker. We'll see how Tell goes, you know. His people, or whoever they were, his entourage, were clamouring for Ange to play him as a striker, and well, we got the chance now, haven't we? Because both our strikers are out. So I'm looking forward to the game. We're still injured. If we lose, I'm not going to wet the bed and call for Ange's head, because that's where we're at the moment. But I'm really hoping the two new boys and Mikey Moore might elevate us somewhat. And after this game, we have got a little bit of a rest, thankfully. So hopefully by the time we come back after the rest, we'll have a few more bodies available and we can start shooting up the table and getting deep into competitions. Hopefully we'll get into the 5th round after this weekend. But Villa are scared. They're claret and blue, dirty shitheads, and we're going to beat them 3-0. You heard it here first. Peace and love, and come on you Spurs.